Good morning, Rabbi. In this one of our first episodes of Wake Up America, I'd like to talk about humor and the recent political cartoons that the president published showing the Obamas as apes. Now, animal portrayal of politicians has been going on for like ever, but this was decried as particularly racist. Why do you think that is?
I don't think I have to say anything about why, because one of the memes, one of the common depictions of people of African American or a darker skin is they're descended from apes. And so that started, I have no idea how far back. Just like the idea of the Jew with a hook nose or the particular facial uh, qualities and a Scotsman, they're cheap. There's always been somebody started these portrayals using humor as a way to cover up the fact that the person is hateful, is a racist. I don't want to admit that I am against French people just because I call them frogs. And there's no question that the depicting African Americans as apes is just bigotry. It's just hateful. It's not funny. Yet we want to get away with people thinking that we're not really racist.
For example, the president has been depicted as any one of a number of animals in a very unpleasant manner, but none of them could be considered racist. Why? Because he's white? Because they're just using animals to portray a certain intent or attitude. When you say black people are apes, I mean, nobody in today's society thinks that that's anything other than racist. So it's obviously a very direct implication. And again, it is the famous misdirection that the administration is using to draw attention away from other things.
Yeah, the economy, the price of everything, Iran, the Gaza's going nowhere. The Hezbollah and the other terrorist organizations aren't giving up guns. They're not stopping. And Hamas is continuing in the Gaza, growing and getting support. So how do you deal with something that you said you dealt with by defocusing? So this obviously is another way to distract the American people from the real issues. And I think it's the media is falling for it. I think they're neglecting their duty. Let's put Gaza back in the discussion. It's not going anywhere. Let's put Ukraine back in the discussion. Peace isn't going anywhere. Let's look at Iran as the enemy, as the problem. It's not going anywhere. And so, in good fashion, you want to distract everybody, defocus people, and point them in another direction. And I think we see the same thing with uh, anti-Semitism. Oh, I'm not an anti-Semite. I'm against Zionism. What kind of nonsense is that, Joe? Zionism was a political movement from the 1800s. The term Zionist was coined by Nathan Birnbaum, a reporter. And he just called a political movement to establish a Jewish homeland in Israel. That's what a Zionist is. And so to start accusing of all Jews as Zionists or Zionism, all it is a way to be an anti-Semite and say, oh, I'm not. In the same way we find it in cartoons, we find it in humor. You know, there's a legal term for this. Mens rea, the guilty mind. And that's what I want to point out. The guilty mind. And people think that they can get away with saying, oh, I was only joking, or it's a cartoon, or oh, apes. I meant to be funny. That is mens rea. Your mind is guilty. And when you use the word Zionist and want me to believe you're not against Jews or Judaism, it's the same thing. You're thinking of ways to say something so that you won't be accused or you won't see yourself what you truly are, a bigoted, hateful person, using that to get into political office, to use it to gain votes, to use it to make money, to use it to make friends, to use it for gain. Come on, let's wake up, America, and stop using all these hateful things to get clicks.
Well, one thing that clicks with me, Rabbi, is your point, and I appreciate it. I hope everyone else does. Let's look forward to a day when people can make jokes that aren't offensive and deliberate and degrading for everyone.
A rabbi, a priest, and a kangaroo walk into a bar.